Here.
Here, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any items to be added, removed, or changed on the agenda?
They're not.
So then I would entertain a motion to establish the consent agenda as follows. Approval of the meeting minutes for the regular board meeting of October 25th, our special board meeting of October 25th, the regular board meetings for October 18th, paid expenditures, expense reports, investment summary, investment statement, and approval of purchases.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Any further discussion? Shall I please call the roll?
Tillman.
Aye.
Gray.
Aye.
Riley.
Aye.
Boyle.
Aye. Aye, motion carries. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as established.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is item number 7, matters of the commissioners. Any comments this evening?
I got nothing.
Pat and I attended the mayor's breakfast. Nice to see there's some boat coming to Batavia. Enjoyed that event. Oh, and Tara was there too. And Tara.
And you too, Walona. Yeah.
I can't see her.
Not a sign of mine.
I apologize.
All right. Anything else? Okay, next item on the agenda is correspondence. We have 2 pieces of correspondence. One very exciting one. We have a notice from the Tribune that we are nominated for one of the top workplaces of 2016. So congratulations to the Batavia Park District.
And to the board as well.
And, well, thank you, but we don't work here.
Yeah.
We just one day a week.
Just come in one day a month.
Okay, but we're not going to take credit for that.
No, that's all staff.
And also notification from the Village of Elburn for the termination of our intergovernmental agreement. And Allison, you want to just take a minute to explain what that is, just so everybody understands what that means?
Sure. So a year and a half ago, the Village of Elburn approached the Batavia Park District and said, we're needing some extra help. We want to provide parks and recreation opportunities for our residents, but unfortunately, we don't have the means to do so. Our Village of Elburn doesn't want to establish a park district, and they didn't have the funds to have a park and recreation department within their budget. So the Batavia Park District, we got creative and we said, we'll create an opt-in membership for residents for $320 a year per household. They can purchase a membership, which is essentially what equates to what Batavia Park District taxpayers pay per household. And we did have one family that partook in the household membership, but with the change in leadership with the village administrator, some changes on the Village of Elburn board, there's been a decision to not continue our intergovernmental agreement. And apparently we're not the first agreement to be terminated within the last 3 months.
Fair enough. That was a nice opportunity.
Yep. It's a creative partnership.
What happens to that family that's already opted in? Are they...
Their grandfather claused in for the length.
Okay.
And
Just want to make sure they're not affected.
And if we wanted to, I mean, we could still provide that type of service to residents of Elburn without this type of agreement. But the fact being that the Village of Elburn gave us $2,500 to use as marketing, to go towards marketing efforts, so we wouldn't burden the Batavia Park District taxpayers. So, you know, we would just lose that opportunity to market to the Elburn residents in that capacity. But we could still offer that program if we'd like.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think if you have one family that can take advantage of it because they don't have a park district and it's consummate with what a resident pays or what a resident would pay, I think it's incumbent upon us to continue to offer that opportunity to them if they want to continue with it at some point in the future, so regardless of the agreement.
Sure.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is announcements. Katie?
Okay. Thank you.
You can kick off the holiday shopping season at the Holiday Craft Market, held inside the City Council chambers from 4 to 7 p.m. during the Celebration of Lights Festival on November 27th. Browse a number of craft vendors, enter to win raffles, and you can find that perfect gift item for your loved ones. Experience the magic of the holiday season at this year's Celebration of Lights Festival on Sunday, November 27th from 4 to 7 p.m. There will be a performance by the Batavia Community Band, free hay rides, roasted chestnuts, a holiday craft market, a community sing-along, and more. And also don't forget to stick around to meet Santa Claus and for our ceremonial tree lighting. The festival is presented by the Batavia Park District in partnership with Batavia Main Street, the Batavia Chamber of Commerce, the City of Batavia, and the Batavia Police Department. And ho, 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 Santa Claus is coming to town on Saturday, December 3rd at 8:30 a.m. for the annual Breakfast with Santa. Visit with the big guy and enjoy a delicious breakfast prepared by the Batavia Lions Club. Then stick around for some family-friendly entertainment. Channel your inner Clark Griswold for our holiday house decorating contest. We will be awarding prizes in 4 categories this year: Most Original, Best Theme, Best Use of Lights, and a People's Choice Award. All displays will be judged on Wednesday, December 7th between 6 and 9 p.m. Winners will receive a Batavia Park District prize package, and this contest is for Batavia Park District residents only. All addresses of entries will be published unless otherwise specified, and the registration deadline is Tuesday, December 6th, and it's a $5 registration fee. For more information on any of these events, please visit our website at bataviaparks.org, or you can give us a call at 630-879-5235.
Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda is staff reports. So first, we'll allow the staff any updates for us.
Just wanted to take this opportunity to thank the board for an extremely successful budget board retreat. I hope you guys enjoyed the format. I thought the feedback that you guys gave to us was extremely beneficial. We took that information and we're working it into the budget, and at the December board meeting, we're going to present to you the final budget for your review and approval. So thank you for that feedback. Ordinance number 362, approving the 16 property tax levy, is up for your approval later. This levy shows the district's commitment to spend taxpayer dollars wisely. The levy is designed to fully fund the proposed budget, and I am pleased to inform the board that the levy will result in a decline in the total tax rate from the prior year. The property tax rate for Batavia Park District residents is estimated to be 55 cents for $100 of estimated assessed valuation. To give you some perspective, a Batavia Park District resident with a property value of $275,000 would pay approximately $500 in taxes to the Park District. To compare that to the entire tax bill, this is about 6% of their entire tax bill.
We got to change spots, so I don't have to. Okay, sure. Whatever you say, boss. Okay, I'll be in Hi, how you guys doing?
Doing wonderful, Eric. How about yourself?
Well, we're taking advantage of the super nice weather we're having out there. It's very unseasonal-like, but we're liking it. And we're getting some more construction-type landscape projects. When we did the renovation at Engstrom Park, we took some of the soil from that site and dumped it at our Mill Creek barn. We wanted to use that soil for filling in where there's like a concrete pathway that was in the shape of a wagon wheel. So we're pulling all the concrete out and using the stockpile of soil to fill that area in. And then so we can finally get that all into grass. And then the other, we're going to use some more soil at West Main Community Park. There was an area that was in between the ball fields, but west of the path, between the batting cages and the ball fields, and there was like a little large puddle, if you will. And so we're using that soil and the dry, very dry conditions to regrade that and direct the water. So the guys have been getting out and we're also starting the East Side Center ground restoration, and we're hoping to have that finished by week's end.
Sure.
Yep.
You gotta love the fact that even though they're spraying graffiti, they're being way more creative with it now.
I know, did you see that?
For those that don't know, I'm referring to graffiti that was sprayed at our skate park that actually said, "Mr. Parkman, please do not remove my graffiti." So,
Certainly made facility tech Jeff laugh. He took a picture.
The good news is none of those young kids watch this show.
no. But their parents happened to see that somebody wrote on their refrigerator, "Please do not remove this graffiti." It's probably the same kid.
Good job, Mr. Parkman.
Yes. But I'm glad we took a picture of it and then removed it. But Mr. Parkman.
It's better than crabby silver-haired guy. Thank you.
And I have to follow that.
Yes, you do.
Fantastic. Becca Atkins has passed her CPRP, and Brittany will be taking that test in December. So they're moving right along.
And CPR.
Congratulations for that.
I will definitely be passing that on to them.
For our viewing friends at home, do you want to say what CPR?
Certified Park and Recreation Professional. It is the accreditation that you get as a Park and Rec employee when you pass, I think it's now 125 question test covering all aspects of recreation. And it's cool to have those 4 letters after your name. In my opinion, it's kind of cool. All of our outdoor sports ended October 22nd. Even though it's beautiful outside, we are now inside because according to the calendar, it's wintertime and we should all be inside. So that's just kind of the way it goes. So
It's coming.
Eventually it will, and we'll be happy about it.
By the weekend. Yeah, it's a real thing.
We had the 3 nights of Haunted Quarry. We averaged roughly 200 people through the 3 nights, so about 600 people. So it was successful, and we are having our wrap-up meeting Thursday to discuss what we're going to do next year, how we're going to do it, when we're going to do it, things of that nature. And just to keep the good times rolling, our tween nights are still being very positive. Becca's doing a wonderful job. We had 54 at the last tween night, so we're still in the 50s, and come true winter time, we're going to see what we can do about increasing those numbers and making more magic happen, getting more tweens and teens to hang out over at the east side. And that is all from me.
Super. Thank you.
Sirs and ma'am.
Thank you. We had a really great turnout for volunteers for Haunted Quarry. I think we averaged around 30 volunteers each night. I think it was a great opportunity for our teenage volunteers to come out and have a little fun and help the Park District and their community out. So it turned out to be a great event with a great turnout for volunteers. We have our mechanic position open, as everyone knows. We lost Alex to the city of Batavia, but we're getting ready to hopefully fill that position with somebody new, and he seems like a great candidate, so I should have more updates on that hopefully next time. And then finally, we have an exciting announcement about Top Workplace, but I will leave that to you. So Allison, I'm sure, will be speaking more about it. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. So I've got some exciting news. This past summer, we rolled out the district's Instagram account, and we have now reached 100 followers. So that's pretty exciting. That was our scorecard goal for the year, and so it's turning into a great marketing tool, and glad to have a presence there. So we hope to grow that. And thank you, Tara, for always liking things.
She does it 100 times, so.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's just it's a great way to engage with the community also through that outlet. Also, the marketing department has been working with the Parks Department on replacing the South Riverwalk plaza flags. We've got a really great idea for the new flags that are going to be installed there. We're going much larger. We're also coming up with a really unique design. They're going to be very photograph-oriented, featuring photographs from our programs, our special events, and then also featuring some fun buzzwords that are associated with each season. And so we are looking forward to rolling those out before the end of this year, and we should be getting design proofs in really soon.
Sure.
So,
Sounds exciting.
yeah, we have a really fun idea too, incorporating our brand colors too. So very excited about that. And Not sure if you guys saw it on your way in, but we did complete the Coffee Nook area with work with the Facilities Committee.
It's an executive director's report, you'll see it.
Okay.
Should I leave that to you as well?
No, that's okay, no, keep going.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Everything you do marries up to mine, so it's all good.
Definitely check it out. We wanted to refresh that space. We noticed a lot of people were sitting in that area when there was overflow from the lobby, and so we updated it with some fun tables that have our logo featured on them and some very sustainable chairs that are made out of 111 plastic bottles. So pretty cool.
Per chair?
Per
All
chair.
glued together.
Yep. But they're very cool and very comfortable as well. So we're looking forward to people enjoying that area and warming up with a cup of hot cocoa or hot coffee.
At a very affordable price.
Yeah. And last but not least, the winter brochure will be delivered the week of November 28th. And it'll be available online December 1st. We are doing something fun with this issue. We are featuring our mascot, Bruce the Spruce, throughout this winter issue. It's called Bruce the Spruce on the Loose. So residents, residents can jot down all the places that they find Bruce in the brochure, and they'll be emailing it to Sharon Bringleson before the end of the year. And each person who correctly identifies each spot will automatically receive a daily admission to Hull Quarry Beach, and then but also be entered for a chance to win a family of 4 season pass. So we're just doing this through the end of the year, and it should be a really fun game for our residents. That's it. That's all I got.
Great. Cool. Thank you.
That's awesome.
It's one way to make our fun guide interactive.
Yes.
Super. Where's Brucey? All right, next item on the agenda is 11A. We have a presentations. You want to cue this up, or do you want?
Sure. In our attendance tonight, we have a Boy Scout, Aiden Meadows, and he will present the Bark Park Master Plan, and this will finalize his Eagle Scout project. And he will also be presenting at the end of this month to the Batavia Parks Foundation as well. But he's been working on this for quite some time, and I'll hand it over to Aiden.
Somebody's got to start the show for him.
Can we make the whole?
Shelley, start the show.
Oh, yes, very
Hello. First of all, I'm Aiden Meadows, as explained before, and I'm here to present to the board my Eagle Scout project that I've been working very closely with the lovely Park District for the past couple of months. I'm also here with the insisted upon support of my family minus one.
Go family. That's good.
Okay. So for kind of an outline of how my presentation will go for now, I'll start with who I am, go into my project description, the kind of road taken that I've had so far working on this, presenting my final master plan and going into detail on some of the parts, and then my conclusion in the end. So who I am. So I am first and foremost a Boy Scout from Troop 6. I've been in Scouts for a lot of years now, around since back in grade school when I was just a Cub Scout. I'm a student at Batavia High School, a junior now, and I'm involved in a lot of extracurricular activities through there, especially through the music program with the marching bands season ending end of October, and jazz band right now, as well as just regular concert band through there. And I also do reffing soccer through TCSA. So my project description. So I brought my project a couple months ago to the Park District. And there I kind of laid out what I really wanted to do. So the beginnings of how it got decided on between me and a couple of other Park District members over there was that what you guys really wanted me to create is a master plan of a revision of some parts of the park, focusing solely on the Bark Park over there. Because when I originally presented to them, I wanted to do something with the Bark Park. Because out there right now, it's one of the biggest park spaces that I've been to that we have around in this area. But it's just a big open field. From the experiences that I've had, especially with talking to some people over there, there's not much to do. You've got a lot of people, and it's got great attendance overall year-round, besides the winter seasons, obviously. But I really wanted to make the point of I wanted to make the park a fun experience for all, because that's really what I'm about, is kind of creating this plan that I got given the opportunity to do, encompassing all of the community ideas that I've gotten around, because it's the community's park, it's not mine. It's theirs, so that's really what I wanted to do with it. So the road taken with this. So I had meetings with the Park District way back in September and August to kind of first bring up what I was going to do with this plan and finalize some decisions made. And from there, I held 2 public meetings, one in October and another one kind of early November. And at those public meetings, I'll explain into detail in the next slides. From there, I also did scout meetings, where I took the ideas from the public meetings that I had, and I really used scout help, because when you're working on an Eagle project, it's a very huge portion of it is to make sure that you get scout help and you really show your leadership through the scouts and through the community. And then I've also taken this plan and had some professional meetings. So I've had ties back for a couple, for the last month or so, meeting with a professional landscape architect who has reviewed my plan and kind of talked with me about some of the ideas there, as well as I met with a professional agility course instructor, trying to decide some of the final things that I needed to, what I shouldn't include and what I should include for kind of beginner dogs who are just looking to have fun with some of the equipment there. So public meeting number 1, back in October. This one was really about just getting the basic ideas of what people wanted for me to do with the park. So I was just there to listen. I did not present any rough draft plans to them. I just had options that we could kind of list some topics off of, and they just gave me all the feedback that they had. I had some great responses from people there, which really helped shape the first couple of drafts. From after that meeting, I took it to the scout meetings. I overtook 2 of my troop scout meetings to kind of boil down the public opinions and what they really wanted into some rough drafts of plans. We created a lot of rough drafts from there. I believe we had around 7 or 8, because I had great attendance at that scout meeting. And after that, at that first scout meeting, I took it to what I like to call as my scout board of executives. So these elite group of scouts that I chose who really were focused on helping me with this plan, helped me boil these down into 2 different options, which I then presented at public meeting 2. Public meeting 2 was the final review of the 2 options. Here I wanted to just use the comments that I got from the 2 options on which ones people liked more and what ideas from option number 1 versus option number 2, so that I could boil it down into a final master plan. So going into this final master plan, the overview. So on the left is the park now, with the kind of in the bottom corner, the Bark Park down there. On the right is the master plan for the park that you guys allowed me to have through Mr. Locker to look at, so I could kind of see how me changing the park fits into the overall park plan. Because I know some of the fencing gets moved around a little bit when you expand some of the baseball fields and stuff like that. So all of the park plan, after I reviewed it with myself and a couple of the my landscape architects, we looked at it and everything from there fits into it. So what it came down to with the overview is a gravel or mulch path to the park. Right now, I believe it is not a gravel or mulch path out there, and it can get kind of muddy during some of the rainy seasons and not make it the best, most efficient way to get to the park. As well as we talked about with Barco, when I met with the Barco executive, to talk about some of the products that they had that they were willing to work with the Park District on. The Park District really talked about having a message center out near the hub of the park. So that was incorporated into this plan, as well as a bathroom near the entrance to the Bark Park. And that would just be in the form of a porta john, something portable, which would be put outside of the fence, easily taken down to get emptied out somewhere.
Not under the water.
It needs to happen every once in a while.
The Bark Park itself. So this is the very basic core of the park. So the triangle sections, the green triangle section is my small dog area. I will go into detail about that later, but when I talked with my landscape architect and with some of the people of the public, we decided on triangle sections, which I liked a lot, and so did the people of the public, and so did the landscape architect. It's not really seen, it's not a common thing for people to do triangle sections, so it kind of gives a little quirky niche to this park, which is really nice to have. And also it helps because if you just cut a straight line across and create a box for the agility area, which would be in purple, then it kind of gets rid of a lot of space that the actual fetch and run area is what I call it, which is just the rest of the park, the white space. So the triangle sections are there to really maximize the space of the park while still giving a lot of area to the agility area and the small dog area. In blue is the entrance area, and in yellow is the trees area. I did not mess with the trees. I didn't think it would be worth it to try to take them down. Might as well leave them there. They're nice. They look nice. Neat rows. And then in the small little red thing is the memorial that is at the park. So here, the triangle sections, as well as revision of the fence in areas needed. I know some of the entrance fences need revision. I got a lot of comments on the public where they're not exactly the most up-to-date fence mechanisms. And then as well as a mulch path leading from the side of the area over here down to the small dog area entrance. So that you don't have to walk through the park to get to the small dog area if people feel uncomfortable about bringing their dogs through kind of the bigger dog area out there. So the main entrance. So the main entrance here, there's currently a pavilion there. So in this plan, I incorporated a paved space into there so that it can kind of be a community meeting area. And I know I talked with Katie a little bit about how we could have some events taking place at the Bark Park. And I think a paved area out there would be really nice to host events as kind of like a meet and greet place where people can just talk. Because in this entrance area is where most of the people that I've seen spend their time. They let their dogs out and run, and some will go play with their dogs, but a lot of them just like to sit and talk with the other people who come to the park out there in this meeting area. A redone and secured entry gate. as well as trash cans and restrooms. So the restrooms, the porta-johns, are outside of the fence for ease of access. And then the trash cans for both human trash as well as dog waste, because right now there's not a set dog waste and kind of baggy dispenser system out there. And I know Barco has some great products that I've seen in other parks around that really work well there. The pavilion with new benches underneath, as well as the rainwater collection system. So one of the biggest comments that I hear about the park is that there's no water there and you have to bring your own, and generally people don't like to share their water that other people bring with their other dogs. Because it's not the safest and most sanitary thing. So for the rainwater collection system, it's exactly what it sounds. So rain comes down, there's a gutter system on the roof of the pavilion, and then that gutter system leads into a rain water bucket barrel with a faucet on it that is set to drip. Because if you don't allow it to drip into the basin, then the water stagnates inside of it, and it is then it gets to be kind of gross and not sanitary. So that is in there as another option for people for water for their dogs out there, as well as leash posts. Because when you go out there, people just tend to leave their leashes on the fence and then just leave and forget. So I actually, at the other dog parks in the area, like the ones at St. Charles out by Green Soccer Fields, there are no leash posts there. They did the same thing over there. So some leash posts there, we decided would be nice to just kind of have a organized way to have leashes in like a better area. For the memorial, so the memorial would also feature a paved space, as well as I know that I talked about with you guys some about the opportunity of people to do memorial bricks to kind of commemorate their dogs, and those would be placed into the plan as needed around the paved space. It looked really nice around there, as well as in-ground benches around there so people can sit in the benches in thought of watching the dogs run in the distance. And maybe some trees implanted there around it to kind of just make it a nice thinking space from the dogs. It also is in a secluded area. It is out in the front of the trees, so it's not near the entrance area, so that it's more secluded for people who want to kind of sit there and not really be in the midst of everybody up at the entrance area. For the small dog area, so I've seen this featured in a lot of parks before, and I really like the idea of it. So the idea of the small dog area and its core element is, or at least what I would like to use it as, so a lot of other parks use it as a dogs between like 20 to 30, 40 pounds are allowed in this area for just the fact of safety concerns that people may have, which is really what I wanted to stress. So this, I would like to label it as a small dog area. However, I want it open to the entire park as kind of a safety dog area. So if you don't feel safe out in the big area with the other dogs, you can bring your dog into this separate and secluded area in the back of the park, where it's a little bit safer and a little bit more friendly to the smaller dogs out there. I know as far as a personal story that when I brought my dog to the park as a puppy, little tiny energetic Weimaraner, he had a leather collar at the time, and one of the bulldogs there really likes leather chew toys. Those are his favorite kind of chew toys. And so he decided that it would be a great idea if he used my dog's neck and collar as a chew toy. And so, despite telling the owner of the dog to back off and them saying, "Oh, don't worry, he's not hurting them, he's just playing around," we didn't feel the same way. So it would have been nice to kind of bring them to the small dog area. So this small dog area would also feature a separate pavilion as kind of a separate entrance and greet and meet place in this area, as well as it would feature 2 entrances and exits. So one at the entrance here, which would have a separate path from the outside of the park leading into it, so you don't have to walk in the park, as I said before, as well as a conjoint entrance area around here, which leads into the park itself. Here would have a paved main entrance with benches and trees implanted, as well as it would feature not as many as the play area, but it would feature some equipment just to kind of give it, instead of just being a big open space for small dogs, just kind of give it some extra amenities for dogs to play around with. As well as leash posts and trash cans and benches, all of the same things that are in the regular entrance area for the entire park. For the dog play area, so what I really wanted to bring forth with this dog play area is it is not a agility course for people to use as a set course that people run on. I really just wanted to make this a fun area that features play equipment. Yes, I have talked with Barco, and they have some amazing play equipment and are definitely willing to work with the Park District on pricing of some of this equipment and the ways that it is put in ground, whether it's movable or not, here. So it would feature various play equipment, which can be decided later on, whether it's through the public or from what I had boiled down with my agility course instructor on what she thinks is the most fun and popular stuff from the Barco selections. As well as featuring trash cans, leash posts, and benches again. So you can just kind of give it that same amenities there that you have at the other entrances there. It has the same entrances and exit at the small dog area. You have the conjoined entrance and exit that joins the small dog area with the dog play area, as well as there is an exit and entrance over here that leads into the entire park as a whole. So here, this marks the quasi-end of my PowerPoint. So I want to give some thank yous while I put on just a short little video of that. So I really want to first off say thank you very much to the entire Park District as a whole. You guys have really helped me out through this entire thing, and it's been a really great experience for leadership, for myself, and everything throughout this entire process that I've been working on for the past couple of months. I would also like to give special thank yous to Katie and Mr. Locker and Carrie Pelkamp, who unfortunately she could not come today, but justifiable reasons. Special thanks to them for really helping me through this entire process and putting up with me and everything for the public meetings and stuff. It's been really great working with them. It's also special thanks to my family for support along this, and to my dad, who kind of helped me, especially with building this entire SketchUp plan. This has been really great. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. So special thanks to them. As well as special thanks to my Troop 6 scouts and leaders. They've been really great working with me and making sure I can kind of keep this process moving along in a timely fashion. And big thanks to the entire Batavia Parks community, because they are really what helped me with this project the most, and their opinion on all of this and their support through the articles that have been written through the King County Chronicle and stuff like that have been really great as far as publicity for myself goes. I really appreciate that. So thank you to all those people, and I'll open the floor up to any questions.
Shelley, can you turn on the lights, please?
I do have some questions. First, I would imagine another thank you to your dog, right?
Yes.
Right. As far as, I've seen some of the agility contests before. This whole design is awesome, but I would ask the question, does this plan lend itself to bringing in portable equipment and holding agility contests in that area that I know that there's not true agility stuff in there, but have you talked to Barco or anything? Do they have any equipment that can be brought in and hold contests like that?
So from the information that I got with Barco and with my agility course instructor, all of Barco's equipment is agility certified. So all of their equipment, all of their A-frames and their weight tables and their bar jumps, all of those are safe and actually recommended to be used in actual agility course play. Now, most of the equipment there would probably be safer as an option to have it in ground in the park. But the placement of those equipment can be messed around with in the final plan before things get put in, so that you can leave a space in the back for portable equipment to be brought in to host events like that. It is a very big space. It is actually the same size as the small dog area. So it can be set up in a different place where you can have a kind of separate, if you really wanted to, fenced off area for kind of bringing in events like that to there. But Barco has talked to me about some of the equipment there, and it's kind of hard to see as far as that. If I go back to presenting this. So the this here, they call it the Canine Castle. This is not a agility course equipment, as it is a castle. So it's big, but this A-frame and a couple of the other equipment pieces here, I have a kind of short list that I put together with my agility course instructor and with some review from the public of what pieces they'd like to see as far as entire budget prices of what this entire park itself would ask, even in a separate section for all the different play pieces of equipment. Because they, yes, so to answer your question, so Barco's, all of their equipment is agility certified, and it could be put in a place where events like that could be held.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's great.
Well, terrific job on your preparation and interviewing. That was a great logical progression of getting ideas and incorporating, instead of you just saying, this is what I think that it needs. So it's a great process that you went through. And you mentioned, my first question was about the pricing. So do you have something that you've shared with staff about that equipment, as far as, and then also the gates and the fencing and all that kind of stuff? Or?
So my first off, very uneducated about pricing for parks and stuff like this. From what I've looked up and cross-referenced with some other equipment that I've seen around in fencing with the landscape architect, the total cost for the entire park, if you were to go all in with everything that I put in here, on a very rough estimate, comes to around 120 to 150,000, depending on the types of play equipment and how you mess around with fencing and trees and stuff like that. It could very well go up to 200,000, but I would not see it going any more with what I have put in here.
Okay. And then for the dog, or the small dog area, you mentioned like poundage, like 30 pounds, 40 pounds. Do you think that would be an issue where going in, some people think, well, I have a small dog versus, well, my dog is this. I think we should, people's
Yeah.
interpretation of what a small dog is.
Right. So,
Like they have like a size no higher than this or something.
Kind of like Great America, you have
Yeah.
fit small,
To be this short, to be in this.
More like the airport.
So really what I hope to do is I have it labeled in here for simplicity reasons as a small dog area, but what I really would like to do is more to label it as a safe dog area. So I don't really want to constrict it to weight parameters, because I feel like if there is a fully grown bulldog who's being hassled by a greyhound off in the park, then that bulldog, whether or not it exceeds 40 pounds, should be allowed to go into the safe dog area for safety reasons. So I really don't want to constrict it to pounds, because I feel like that's kind of counterproductive of what the extra area in the back for safety would be.
Good.
Good idea.
If it can fit in a little handbag.
Yeah.
Put it in the park. Yeah.
And you did a great job on the video. So,
It was great.
Yeah.
You can get your dog through that hole.
well, whoever did the video, excellent job at the end.
I met Aiden 5 months ago, and in the very preliminary stages, and I have to say, I am so impressed with how far you've come along, and the research that you've done, and just the amount of knowledge that you've gained throughout this process, and it's just such a valuable skill set that you've acquired by going through this. And even your presentation tonight was wonderful, and you clearly have the confidence to be able to speak in front of a big group.
And that's something you should continue. You should look into public speaking courses when you get into high school, college and senior year of high school, because when you really talk about public speaking, most people prefer death over public speaking. And if you're able to do it in the way, you're very comfortable, you can do public speaking, you should look into things like Toastmasters and other programs. That is life training right there, when you already have like 90% of it down. So, very well done.
Bravo.
So when do you present this to your troop or your scout leaders?
Hopefully in December, what happens is I go through what is called the final Eagle Board review. So I am going to push for that to happen in December as soon as possible. It might and will most likely, depending on schedule, in early spring. But that is when I would really present to them this. But what they're most focused about is the leadership that I have shown through this entire project. So how I have led public meetings, and how I have led scouts, and how I have presented to the board here today, and things like that. That's what they're really focused on. We're not so focused on the project itself, but it is definitely something that I plan to share with them as kind of a compendium of what I've done so far.
Great. And you're on TV.
You got that down, yeah.
Perfect. Great.
We have a huge fan base here.
Good luck.
What kind of turnout did you have at those public meetings, and kind of what did you learn from that process?
So at the first public meeting I did only have one person show up from the outside public. However, I also did have some of the Park District staff, who they themselves contributed great ideas, as well.
We have a lot of dog lovers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's as well as I got some of the information for what you're going to hear from friends and family, and other stuff that I've done kind of around my high school itself, as well as some reports I've gotten, like messages and text messages after people see the article talking about their ideas on it from my friends and other people. But at the second public meeting, I unfortunately did not have anyone show up from the outside public. Luckily, the second public meeting was more of a showcase than anything else. But I still did have some people. I had my lovely grandparents show up to that meeting there.
They're public?
Yeah, that's public.
Yeah, they're from Elburn, so.
I don't know if you want to wave them off.
That's out of the tracks.
But I still did get some great ideas there, as well as, again, some of my fellow scouts and scoutmasters and friends and family who helped me really boil these down to one, this final master plan here.
Well, it shows some persistence to go out and continue to. We sometimes have that same issue when we ask the public for help on some of our projects. We have to beat the bushes as well to get some input.
Anyone else? Aiden, first of all, thank you.
Thank you.
This is a rare opportunity, I think, to do something that's perhaps a little different than most Eagle Scout projects that we've had done in the past. You know, we've had physical labor type projects. People have improved and helped us, take care of certain areas of the park. But I think this is a higher level of thinking. Certainly requires a lot more rigorous investigation to be able to put your ideas down in a cohesive way to be able to make a public presentation. So I want to thank you very much for that. And also, Batavia is a special place. And I think that you are falling in line with a very long line of volunteers in this community, and you should be given a great credit for doing so at such a young age. So we wish you nothing but the best and good luck with your final Eagle Scout presentation, and until you finally get the accolade of being an Eagle Scout.
We'll see it in the paper. Right? Yeah.
So what we'd like to do is take a short break and take a photo with you so we can do some more tweeting and newspaper articles while the staff goes ahead and resets it up. So thank you very much for bringing Aiden tonight and for allowing him to work with our staff, which I know they had some fun. Heard some good things about you, so thank you very, very much. All right, why don't you come up here and we'll